The growth at Rad Diversified has been incredible. My name is Dutch Mendenhall, CEO and co-founder at Rad Diversified. While the market continues to plummet, we continue to deliver incredible results for our investors through our diverse and lucrative portfolio of real estate and cash flowing investment. In less than 3 years, the value at Rad REIT has more than doubled. See what makes us rad at raddiversified.com today. That's RAD diversified.com.
30-year-old trophy is to present it to the captain.
Stone skates over, shakes Gary Bettman's hand, puts his left hand on the chalice, and now they lift the Stanley Cup off its pedestal. Sparks fly behind Stone and Bettman. Gary Bettman says, "It's all yours, Mark." He hoists the Stanley Cup. Two vigorous thrusts, like his vigorous fist pumps after scoring the first goal here in Game 5. He skates it out to center and twirls about the neutral zone, avoiding the obstacles of small and large pink flamingos all over the ice. The Fortress alive once again. And the first handoff goes to an original Golden Knight alternate captain, Riley Smith. Smith plants a big kiss right in the heart of the cup, which stands 3 feet tall, weighs 34.5 pounds. Who knows if it's heavy or light as air. The next handoff to Marchessault. Lifts it high over his head, screams, "Let's go!" And he's listed at 5'9", but he's the tallest man in the building tonight. Next, to another misfit, William Karlsson, with perhaps the prettiest pass of the day between his own legs to set up his line mate Riley Smith. Karlsson now gives the trophy next to Braden McMahon. He shows it to the crowd, brings it back toward his teammates. Who will be next? It's his partner, Shea Theodore. Shea stops, gives it a long look, and then plants a big kiss on Lord Stanley's cup. William Carrier gets it now. We asked Will the personality of this team going into this Stanley Cup Final Series. He said, mature. We know how to weather the storm and get back to our game. He hands it off to Alex Pietrangelo. The second time Pietrangelo has won the Stanley Cup. First with St. Louis as captain in 2019. He takes a short stroll with the cup and hands it off to Alec Martinez, his D partner. Third time, Alec Martinez, a Stanley Cup champion. 2 goals in the Stanley Cup playoff final series. He's now 12-4 in games played during the Stanley Cup final. 4 goals and 1 assist in those Stanley Cup final games. He hands it off to the man between the pipes. This time, it's his old teammate, Jonathan Quick. A Conn Smythe winner himself, back with the Los Angeles Kings. A hero for the Knights between the pipes down the stretch. Third cup for Jonathan Quick. And now to Chandler Stevenson, a second-time cup winner, both times here at T-Mobile Arena. He lifts the cup and skates around the center ice logo after bringing it back to his own blue line. And now to Chelmsford, Massachusetts' own Jack Eichel. Holds it high over his head, screams to the crowd, takes a moment to kiss it, still holds it high over his head. Jack Eichel finishes with the most points of anybody in the Stanley Cup playoffs. The next man to get it
Hey, Golden Knights.
Ivan Barbashev.
Down on the ice with Shea Theodore. Listen.
Ivan Barbashev lifts the cup high over his head as he will skate it back to his teammates. And the next up will be the goaltender who won today, Adin Hill. They up the total. Adin finishes with 32 saves on 35 shots in the clincher. A record of 11-4 in the Stanley Cup playoffs after a record of 16-7-1 in the regular season. Nicholas Waugh now gets to lift the cup. A Calder Cup champion in the American Hockey League the season before he joined the Golden Knights organization. Next up, it is Phil Kessel. Phil played the first 4 games of this postseason, registered a couple of assists after playing in all 82 in the regular season to set the NHL's Ironman record. Keegan Colasar has it next. Colasar brought to the Golden Knights organization in a trade with Columbus, his original club. Colasar hands it off next to the Golden Knights free agent signing of 2018, Zach Whitecloud. Played 1 game for the Knights during the inaugural season of 2017-18. And so Whitecloud gives it to his defenseman partner, Nicholas Hay. Drafted by the Golden Knights in 2017 in the second round. Kitchener, Ontario native. Dave now hands it off. And this time it is Michael Amadio. Imagine Amadio, placed on waivers by the Toronto Maple Leafs at the beginning of the last year. You would think that for the Golden Knights to acquire players, it would be in blockbuster moves. Waiver wire. Brett Howden, similarly, let go by the New York Rangers. Kelly McCrimmon said that we're counting on the person. Howden, a first-round pick of the Lightning back in 2016. Has seen that franchise win a couple of cups. Now he's a cup champion himself. The next handoff goes to Ben Hutton. Ben managed to appear in a couple of games in this postseason. Former University of Maine Black Bear. A journeyman who is finally getting his name on the Stanley Cup. Now here's Lauren Brossoit. An ovation for Brossoit, the winning goaltender for the first 5 wins of this postseason. Injured against the Oilers and having to give way to Adin Hill, who went the distance. Brossoit good enough to be out there in his equipment. And now the all-star goaltender Logan Thompson gets it from Brossoit. Thompson also injured this year, but he manages to get back on the ice and in his pads to lift the Stanley Cup. Now Paul Cotter. Paul was not in any of the games during the postseason, but during the regular campaign, a regular contributor. Remember, he scored the first game-winning goal of the season against the Blackhawks in a 1-0 win early on. Teddy Bluger gets the last lift with Lord Stanley. Bluger was the Golden Knights' acquisition at the deadline. He, along with Jonathan Quick and Ivan Barbashev, critical components. Now the rookie, the man who is the captain of the Henderson Silver Knights, Braden Pahal, who made 1 appearance here in these playoffs, he gets to lift the Stanley Cup. And now, with that being the last player, Pahal gets the duty to hand it to Bruce Cassidy. A year ago tomorrow, Bruce Cassidy was hired as the 3rd coach in Golden Knights history. He is the man who does what his predecessors could not. win the Stanley Cup. He does it in his first year. He does it in his 101st game during his 8th run. He hands it off to Kelly McCrimmon, the GM. Coming to the Knights as assistant GM, and he hands it off to the owner, Bill Foley. They will lift it together. Cup in 6 is reality. And now the president of hockey operations, the first cup for George McPhee. George, general manager with the Washington Capitals, has managed to start over again here with the Golden Knights. And now John Stevens lifts the cup. John Stevens hands it off to Ryan Craig, an assistant coach from the beginning for the Golden Knights. The next handoff to Misha Donskov, who has been part of the organization from the beginning as well. He lifts the cup high over his head. And the next to first-year goalie coach, Sean Burke, who might have worked the most magical coaching job in the NHL this year with all the different goalies. And now video coach Dave Rogowski, with his eyes bulging, almost in disbelief that he's doing this, lifts the cup, gives it a kiss, and now turns around, unsure where to go with it next. As Vaughn Carpin gets the next handoff. Top scout of the Golden Knights organization. Vaughn will now bring it to the rest of his scouting staff. And with each handoff comes another ovation. Again, the final score here in Game 5, the Golden Knights have defeated the Florida Panthers 9-3 to win the Stanley Cup. We will have additional action from the ice. Golden Knights insider Gary Lawless will make his way down to ice level. And we will be hearing from Gary shortly. He'll join us with live interviews. The equipment staff now begins to pass the cup around as the Golden Knights will continue to celebrate long into the night. Chris Davidson-Adams hands it off to J.W. Aiken. Gives it a kiss, and now off to Pat Mano and his brother John. They lift the cup together. Brothers on the equipment staff. Pretty neat. Let's listen in now downstairs.
6, and we did it. Boys did it. I did nothing. They did it. You're fantastic.
Listen, can you even explain what this fan base is like? I get to pump them up every night, and you've been very vocal about our fans and the support that they give and the love that they share with the Golden Knights.
Yeah, we're embedded with our fans. Our fans are embedded with us, and we are part of them, and they are part of us. And I love them. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, all of you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
I said this earlier to Riley Smith. 6 years ago.
That is Mark Chinook chatting with the owner of the Golden Knights, Bill Foley. Let's listen in some more.
Not only performed on the ice, but helped to heal a community. And here we are 6 years later, Vegas-born Stanley Cup champions.
This is it. Unbelievable. It's not over. It's not over. We got to do it again. Got to do it again.
Listen, thank you for allowing all of us to be a part of this incredible journey. Enjoy tonight. Congratulations.
Thank you, Mark. I'm going to have a glass of champagne if you don't mind.
Have a couple. Bill Foley, everybody!
Imagine everything that Bill Foley was told back in 2016, 2017, as he was bringing this franchise to Las Vegas, Nevada, where pro sports had been taboo at the major league level. A pioneer in business, pioneer in pro sports as well. Bill Foley issued that charge to his players and staff. Playoffs in 3, Cup in 6. They got to the Cup final in 2018, lost to the Washington Capitals, and from that moment on, they have pursued one thing, and that is a return to the Stanley Cup final. And this time, they reach the highest hill. Here is George McPhee with Mark Chinook.
Yeah. Well, it's hard to believe that we've pulled this off, but we came here wanting to do something big, and we delivered.
For 6 seasons now, this fan base lines up at 5 o'clock to get into the building. What do you think of these guys? They're incredible.
Well, it's the greatest place in the world to play hockey, to work here. And these young men over here are high character, low ego. The boy next door, they were great on the ice, but they've been even greater in this community. These guys have raised millions in charity and their own money and donating their time and everything else. It's a high character group that our young people can look up to, great role models.
Listen, George, congratulations. Go enjoy the Stanley Cup, man. You're a champion. It's amazing. George McPhee, everybody.
You can imagine, and maybe you're one of young children watching and listening to this and what it means for your hometown club to be on this stage. Not bad. The Edmonton Oilers won their first Stanley Cup in their 5th NHL season, which would be the fastest for an expansion team to hoist the cup. However, it is worth noting that they existed prior to coming to the National Hockey League. They were in the WHA and then were absorbed into the National Hockey League, as was their star phenom, Wayne Gretzky. Technically, Wayne Gretzky was never drafted by a National Hockey League team. He had signed his personal services contract with the Oilers, of course, then of the WHA. And so Jonathan Marchessault and Wayne Gretzky have that in common. Conn Smythe winners, undrafted. Wayne won a couple of Conn Smythes, by the way. Oilers won it in their 5th NHL season. 7 clubs prior to the Knights in the 4 major sports won that league's championship within the first 6 years of existence, going back to 1970. They do it here, and here's Jonathan with Mark Chinook.
And in Vegas, we did it.
Listen, I asked George McPhee just minutes ago that, listen, the Stanley Cup is fantastic, but 6 years ago, this team was born and helped heal a community in some of the darkest hours this country has ever seen. So this is more than just a game. It's more than just a Stanley Cup. This is Vegas, baby.
It is Vegas, baby. And honestly, awesome. Thanks a lot, everybody there. And let's keep it rolling for a few days.
Go take a picture. Let's go. Vegas, get up, get loud. That's the Stanley Cup.
Mark Stone will take the cup for one more swing around the ice. This time, he is followed by about 20 feet by all of his teammates. To show the Stanley Cup to the fans here at T-Mobile Arena one last time before team photos are taken, and the cup is brought back to the dressing room. A crowd today of 19,058. Point of reference, the official seating capacity here is just under 17,400. That's how many standing room and general admission tickets were sold for this game. Now, after that stroll around the ice, they bring the cup to the center red line, place it down on the ice, and everybody gets into this photograph that will last forever. The 96th time a Stanley Cup has been awarded to the NHL's postseason champion. The Knights are the 23rd team to win it, the 21st that still exists, the 31st franchise in the current National Hockey League has won its first Stanley Cup in its 6th season. Everybody lifting one finger and shaking it at the cameras, snapping photos of the greatest team known to Nevada, the Vegas Golden Knights. And
ladies and gentlemen, your Vegas Golden Knights are the 2023 Stanley Cup champions!
Well, 5 years ago, when the Golden Knights beat the Winnipeg Jets to clinch the Western Conference Championship and just reached the Stanley Cup final, we told you not to pinch yourself. It's actually happening. I don't know what to tell you now. We're going to be dreaming about this night for a long, long time here in Nevada. Mark Stone, a team's first captain to win the Stanley Cup, as the first captain since 1928, when Bill Cook won it for the New York Rangers. He was the Rangers' first captain and part of that franchise's first Stanley Cup. Mark Stone is the first Golden Knights captain and part of this club's first Stanley Cup championship. It is the oldest, most recognizable, and most revered trophy in all of sports, and it belongs to the Vegas Golden Knights. Mark Stone records the hat trick today. In the first 100 years of the Stanley Cup, it's amazing. Hat tricks have been quite rare. Here on this 13th of June, 2023, 3 goals in this clinching Game 5. Before that, 1922. Babe Dye for Toronto against Vancouver had 4 goals in a clinching Game 5. And then 2 years before that, April 1st, 1920, Jack Dara for the old Ottawa Senators against Seattle. Those clubs don't exist anymore. So Mark Stone, a hat trick in the Stanley Cup final clincher, first time in 100 years. As the celebration continues on the ice, throngs of media now flood onto the T-Mobile ice surface, and among them will be Gary Lawless for some live interviews. So we invite you to stick around to hear from Gary, and we will have the post-game show with Ryan Wallace. They'll have additional coverage, including highlights. There were 9 goals after all today, followed by your phone calls. We've only been on the air for 3.5 hours. As we stand by for Gary, we'll give you a quick sense of what has happened here today. The Knights winning the Stanley Cup in Game 5. They won the first game 5-2. They won the second game 7-2. Lost Game 3 in overtime in Sunrise, 3-2. But then took Game 4 in Sunrise, 3-2, to take the commanding 3-1 series lead. Come back home where they have been oh so good. 25 home games in the regular season were wins. 9 out of the 12 in the postseason were wins. And this the most resounding of all. First time in franchise history they scored 9 goals, and they do it in the biggest game they've ever played. Well, we'll check in with Gary Lawless momentarily. Gary has made his way down to the ice. And when we hear from Gary, amongst the throngs of Golden Knights staff and players and coaches and media, we will check in with the insider. Well, the only sad part about today is that hockey season is over. We don't get to do this again until training camp in September. And While we have a moment and waiting for Gary, just like to take a moment to thank a few folks that have been very important to what we have done throughout the year. That includes everybody on the Golden Knights business operation, from owner Bill Foley to President Kerry Bubolz, Chief Marketing Officer Eric Tosi, VP of Communications and Content Nate Ewell, and in the PR department, Garrett Calloway, India Shea. The entire Golden Knights communications staff has been integral to what we do here on the radio. And of course, those have been on-air contributors with yours truly and Gary Lawless. Dave and Shane on television with Darren and Ashley, plus Darren Elliott and Derek England. All of us, what we do could not be done without that terrific Golden Knights staff. On the radio side, everybody at Lotus Broadcasting has been so important to us. From Doug and Natalie Marsh. Of course, Ryan Wallace, our host. You'll be hearing from him shortly. Bobby Machado back in our studio. Chris Chapman. There have been a lot of people behind the scenes that have made these radio broadcasts possible all year, including those engineers in the broadcast booth, as we so often say, Joe Sands and Ray Regal. Most of all, we'd like to thank you, the listener, for joining us throughout the season. If it wasn't for you, we wouldn't be here. And with that in mind, we'll go downstairs. The insider has found his way inside the celebration. Gary Lawless.
Hey, Dan, how are you? Brett Houghton, congratulations, Stanley Cup champion.
Thank you so much.
What's this like to share this with your family?
It's so special. We're missing a couple people from my family, but so glad we could have a few here, and it's just, it's incredible.
Kelly McCrimmon, when he traded for you, he said he was betting on the person, and you've been all that person, but you've been a fantastic player too. How happy are you that you made it to Vegas?
Yeah, thrilled. I mean, Kelly believed in me. He took a chance on me when things weren't going well for me, and I can't thank him enough for giving me this opportunity to be here.
Tell me a little bit about the game. What was it like, the emotions, and you really got to 9. You knew for a while you were going to win.
Yeah, I mean, when they made it 2-1, it made it a little interesting, but I think that really made us get back to our game, and after that we just took off and sealed it with a solid win.
Enjoy your family.
That's great.
Dan, I'm going to move right over here to Michael Amadio for a second. Congratulations, Michael. How's that feel?
I can't even put it into words. I don't think it's still sunk in. It feels fucking amazing. Sorry for the French there.
Yeah, we don't have a delay here. Okay, the game at 9-3. What was that like for you? You had a long time to let it sink in.
Yeah, I think we came out right from the start. We played really well. I mean, it was a full team game, a full 60. I just can't believe it right now.
You're a waiver pickup, and now you're a Stanley Cup champion.
That's pretty cool to say.
Congratulations. Enjoy your night.
Thanks, Gary.
Thanks very much. Dan, I'm going to move along here.
Thank you for supporting my nephew, Michael.
Congrats, buddy. Thank you.
Gary is at ice level and working from player to player. There are hundreds of folks on the ice now as the layers of celebration and on-ice access continue. Of course, the original group is the players and coaches, and then eventually staff the next wave. And now families and media joining the celebration, all about the ice, especially down to our right, which is nearest the Golden Knights bench, and the area where the media would come from in the bowels of T-Mobile Arena. And, of course, Gary is, I'm sure, trying to find his way from player to player, but right now the very odd sight to see, the players are grossly outnumbered by everybody else. Normally, you look down at the ice and it's not hard to pick out hockey players. They're usually the only ones out there, with the exception of the officials. George and Kelly have been so part of this, and Gary's now standing by with Kelly McCrimmon.
Kelly McCrimmon, Stanley Cup champion. How's that feel?
Well, it's surreal when it happens. It's a little overwhelming, and the way the game went, it wasn't that we were in overtime, so you knew when we got later into the third period it was going to happen, and it's just it's overwhelming. It's really hard to know. It's hard to know exactly what to expect. Tremendously proud of the players. It was a really good team that could play any way you wanted to play. We were healthy through the playoff, which made such a difference. But just rewarding for Bill Foley, for George McPhee, for our pro scouts, our amateur scouts, those people that work tirelessly to make this happen. And then, of course, number one is your family. With my family's all here, so that part is really gratifying. Without people to share these accomplishments with, they're not very special, and that's what really makes it fun, is the people around us, the people in the organization. So that part's been fantastic.
Yeah, a storied career. You did a great job in junior hockey. You went on a limb to come to the National Hockey League. 6 years later, you're the general manager of the Stanley Cup Vegas Golden Knights. It wasn't easy. You made some big decisions. You brought in Stone, Eichel, Pietrangelo. It's quite an accomplishment what you've done in a short amount of time.
Well, it's a group effort. We're really collaborative. Our pro scouting staff have a lot of input. George McPhee obviously works shoulder to shoulder. We work shoulder to shoulder together. But we had a I think a really clear vision of what a contending team needs to look like, what it needs to have, what a championship team needs to look like, what the roster composition has to be, and we wanted to win. So we worked hard to make that happen, and to do that, it's not easy. It's uncomfortable at times. It's damn hard at times, but you have to be driven by the template you see in your own mind as to what you want this to look like. So for all of the people that have a hand in that, I feel very grateful for their help, and then obviously very happy that they're part of this when it plays out like it has.
Congratulations, Kelly. Enjoy your family.
Thanks, Gary. Really appreciate it. Thank you.
I'm here, Dan.
Gary Lawless with General Manager Kelly McCrimmon. Well, that is a special moment for Kelly. Imagine, after having been so much a part of one franchise at the junior level, that, of course, the Brandon Wheat Kings, establishing yourself as coach, manager, part owner, and then you think about everything that has happened since Kelly left the Wheat Kings to become part of the National Hockey League's expansion team to Las Vegas, Nevada. The original strategy, acquiring the players they did. At first, so many assumed that would be part of a sell-off mid-season, acquire draft picks and build for the future. They had to adjust mid-course and start acquiring players to boost the team that was already in first place. And eventually that magical run to the Stanley Cup Final. And that really changed the course of things in the intervening 5 years. Rather than building for the distant future, it was about building for the now. Knights got back to the Stanley Cup playoffs in 2019. Lost in 7 games to San Jose. Reached the postseason again in 2020, the bizarre bubble postseason, in which they reached the conference final, lost to the Dallas Stars. And then in 2021, the abbreviated regular season, they got to the third round again before falling against the Montreal Canadiens. Then the bizarre loss of a playoff spot after the All-Star break in 2022. First place when they broke for the All-Star game. The injuries mounted. They could not overcome all of the absent players. And so they missed the playoffs for the first time. What would they do to respond to that disappointment and get back to the postseason? Well, that was, of course, to change coaches. And with that change, Bruce Cassidy comes from Boston a week after he was let go by the Bruins. Bruce Cassidy is the coach that brings this group of Golden Knights to glory. Stanley Cup champions in Bruce Cassidy's first year with the club and the 6th year in Golden Knights history. And along the way, of course, Bruce Cassidy building this coaching staff, keeping Ryan Craig, Misha Donskov, Dave Rogowski, adding John Stevens, former NHL head coach in his own right, and then, of course, downstairs to everybody else on that staff, including goalie coach Sean Burke. Let's go downstairs now, and Gary Lawless once again.
I lost Nick Hague. I had him here, Dan, for a second, but I'll grab Riley Smith right away here. Just don't go anywhere. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I had Hague, but I'm going to get in on Riley Smith here as well.
Well, Gary, describe it for us down there.
Well, it's madness down here. It's the guys are They're all the cup's getting passed around by all the scouts now. Families are all on the ice. It's really kind of a special moment. Kelly McCrimmon was quite emotional when I was just speaking with him, and it's the ice is pretty mushy, Dan. It's like slushy down here, which is what happens when you have all these people down on the ice. I'm going to try and there's Nick Waugh. I'm going to try and I'll get in on this. I'll be 1 second here. Here we go. I'm going to just horn in here.
I wanted to ask you about that goal. You were working hard for number 9. Then what did that feel like to win from series clinch and getting 5 Stanley Cup finals?
I mean, it's a little bonus, right? It was fun. It's always fun to get a goal there in the Stanley Cup final. But lifting that big trophy was obviously the big prize there. Yeah.
Congratulations, Nick. You're on the radio with myself and Dan. How happy are you?
Unbelievable, eh? Best feeling in my life for sure. Lifting that trophy, you dream about that your whole life. Doing so with my family too. They've been supporting me my whole life, so a little bit emotional, but I guess that's part of it.
You guys have been such a great team all year, and this is a team win with so many guys on the board. It just seems really fitting that so many players had a hand in it.
Yeah, I think starting from the start of the year, I think we just got better. If you look after the All-Star break, I think the guys really got pushing there. I think we had every single guy in that locker room was doing a big part in this group. That's why we were such successful there.
Awesome, Nick. Congratulations. Enjoy the night, okay?
Thanks, Gary. Appreciate it.
I've got to see Alex Petrangelo. I'm going over to him right now. Dan, don't go anywhere.
All right. Well, we'll keep you on then, Gary. We don't want to lose you.
Nope. There he is. I'm going to horn in on this interview.
We just kept playing, kept winning. Playoffs, guys missed time. Didn't seem to bother us. We just kept playing. I think we just used our depth and overwhelmed people. And you could just see the goals tonight. Like, guys are changing the offensive zone when they don't have to get fresh legs out there. It's an unselfish way to play, and to be part of that kind of group every single game. It's a special group when they're, being unselfish like that. So you're welcome.
Second time as much fun as the first time?
Just as much fun. Well, we'll see how the party is. Might be a little bit different this time. Last time I went on the road, we had a long plane ride home, so I have to get the kids home and take another Red Bull because it's been a long day here, waiting around, anticipating all this to come. So it doesn't change the feeling, though. It's pretty special, and for the guys who haven't won, see the smiles on their faces, and that's what it's all about. You
got to lift it as a captain, and tonight you got to watch Mark Stone lift it. What's that like for you?
Well, I mean, then you get to see the Misfits lifted. But, Mark's, it's been a hell of a journey for him, right? He didn't know where he was going to be when he gets that second surgery. But here he is, right? Stanley Cup captain. So a bit of a relief for him, I'm sure.
Do me a favor. This guy is insisting that you turn around.
Oh, hey, guys.
They want a picture with you.
You or me?
Well, with you, I think. I'll get out of the way.
You're good.
Congratulations, Alex.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, Danny, where are we going to go next? I want to find Aiden Hill for you.
Yeah.
Braden McNabb, that's a good get.
Yeah.
I'm going to slip in here and see if he'll give us 2 seconds.
As Gary is among the mob of people, we see down to our left, Jonathan Quick is he's kind of hanging out with his kids away from everybody else, which is pretty neat.
I'll come back to Braden.
It was interesting to see a number of different goaltenders out there to hoist the Stanley Cup. Of course, the guy who played today in Aiden Hill. The first guy who hoisted the cup was Jonathan Quick. And, the guy who gave it to him was Alec Martinez. We know that Jonathan expected to play his entire career with the Los Angeles Kings. He finds himself here with the Golden Knights' arrival unexpectedly. And you can't help but wonder, with Jonathan's contract expiring at the end of this season, a 10-year deal he signed way back in 2013 after he won the Conn Smythe. Well, is this the end of the line for Jonathan? It was neat to see that he was among the first handful of players to lift that cup.
Dan, we have,
he's done for the third time.
Aiden Hill here, okay?
Let's go downstairs now once again.
Pretty surreal. I mean, our team showed that ability all year with our depth, just to be able to take over a game. Doesn't matter what line's out there, we can just dominate a shift like that. And we did it back-to-back and scored on both of them, and that changed the whole course of the game right there.
in this run?
Unbelievable. I mean, he's been here 3 times now and won it all 3 times. So the experience he has, the kind of veteran presence he brought to our locker room is invaluable.
You ever go to him?
Yeah, I talk to him all the time. So, I mean, Quick's been an awesome guy. He's one of the best guys I've met in the hockey world. So, I'm happy to share this moment with him.
Aiden, congratulations. You're on with Dan and myself upstairs. How's this feel?
Pretty crazy. Yeah, it's fun. Trying to enjoy the moment.
You were really sharp early and kept your team in it, and then they gave you lots of run support.
Yeah, I mean, that second period, we just took over the game. It's truly incredible what this group of guys can do when we're clicking. So, there we got the third and fourth one and started rolling, and it was just kind of waiting for that clock to tick down.
You told us the other night that when they score in overtime, you never get to be in the scrum. Were you in the scrum tonight?
Yeah, I guess they all came to me. I know it was pretty surreal. I didn't know what seconds left to start throwing my stuff off at.
Awesome. Enjoy your night, Aiden.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, Danny, let's I want to go back to McNabb. Give me a second here.
Yeah. Well, the good news is, Gary, after I've been hunting for you with the binoculars, I can finally see you.
I got Keegan Colasar real quick here.
Yeah.
You're on with Dan and Gary here. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. This is the best feeling in the world.
How good is it?
It's speechless. I got my mind's racing everywhere right now. I'm trying to find my family. I'm trying to find the cup. There's just so many emotions right now.
All right, we won't keep you long, so go have fun.
Thank you.
Trying to find his family, trying to find the cup.
Great.
I've never heard anything like that.
Yeah,
well, tell him from up here, Gary, we can see the Stanley Cup. It's kind of near center ice. And we see Gary is right now working his way from the slot. Yes, we see it, Gary. He is working his way up the slot, the face-off circle on the far side near where the doors are open. And there are just people. It's amazing. There's got to be a couple hundred people on the ice, but the large majority of that group is huddled nearest the cup, which is just outside the blue line where Aiden Hill had closed things out. Phil Kessel now gets the cup and gets to take a picture of that with his family as well, Gary.
Yeah, and we're going to right beside George McPhee. We'll let him finish with Vince, and then we'll talk to him.
Yeah. We got to hear from Kelly a few moments ago, and we heard Bill Foley address the crowd on the public address system here. Gary, he was pretty quick to start talking about the future.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, that was something that we heard from the Denver Nuggets celebration yesterday. Denver defeating the Miami Heat 94-89. And Nikola Jokic had his 28 points and very quickly started pointing towards winning it again next year. Soak it in, guys. Denver winning its first NBA championship. Had to wait a little bit longer than the Golden Knights fans did. More than 4 decades. Remember, they were part of the ABA before coming to the NBA, but the first championship of any variety. And the Golden Knights, of course, have won their Stanley Cup in their 6th season, their second visit to the Stanley Cup final, and in both instances, the series ended here at T-Mobile Arena. 5 games with Washington win it in 2018, and now 5 games with Vegas winning it here in 2023. The 96th time the Stanley Cup has been awarded to the NHL's postseason champion. Imagine prior to 1926, it wasn't only the NHL that got to wage battle for the cup. It was a challenge trophy, originally for amateur teams. All right, looks like Gary Lawless is chatting with George McPhee.
You're on the radio here with me and Dan. How's it feel?
Well, as you know, pretty unbelievable. Pretty unbelievable.
I know that when you came here the first time and it didn't work out your way, you really wanted to get back, and you and Kelly tore things down to a certain extent and rebuilt, and you're here. Very gratifying for the city, for Bill Foley, yourself, Kelly, the whole organization.
Well, it was pretty cool to get to the final in our first year, but it hurt a lot to not win. We really wanted to win it that year for this city because this city needed it. And it didn't work out, but we just we didn't give in. We didn't give up. We dug in even more, and here we are. You know, to get to 2 finals in 6 years and 4 conference championships. It's been a real statement by this unbelievable organization that we work for.
You've done it all now. You played in the NHL. You built an organization in Washington, and then you came here with nothing. You started from scratch, and now your name's going to go on the Stanley Cup. Like George McPhee has climbed that mountain. Congratulations.
Well, you know what? The name on the cup is fantastic, obviously, and the Stanley Cup rings to be fantastic, but it's the experience, really, and delivering for this city. That's what matters. I'm fortunate that I'm old enough now to understand what really matters, and for me, this is what matters. Las Vegas has a Stanley Cup.
Awesome, George. Thank you very much. That was George McPhee, and he is he's emotional right now, Dan. He's feeling it. So this is pretty cool stuff. What did I want to do here? Chandler Stevenson's right here. Why don't we jump in on him? Hi, Jackie. Okay, she's here first. Jackie Redmond's here first. No, there's lots to go. I'll see if Braden McNabb. Every time I want to get to Braden, his agent shows up and starts hugging. Give me a break.
All right.
It's hard to see. There's like so many people.
Well, Gary, I can be your eyes in the sky if you like.
Yeah. Hey, Craig, we got Ryan Craig right here. Congratulations, Ryan.
You too, Gareth. Holy shit, look at this suit.
So,
Remind Ryan he's on the air.
We're on the air, so no swearing, okay?
Sorry.
Look at this. You got your whole family here. You Calder Cup champion already and now a Stanley Cup champion. What's that like?
Oh, that's unbelievable. That's unbelievable. What a year. What a ride. Just to do it with these guys and be able to share it with our families is I don't have words. I don't. We earned it. We'll enjoy it tonight.
You retired as a player, and I don't know how it happened. You and Kelly McCrimmon and Gerard Gallant got together, and you came here you'd never coached before, and you've done a fantastic job. You really had a huge impact on this organization, and you're standing on the bench tonight as the clock ticks down. What's going through your mind at that moment?
Just thankful. Very, very thankful for the opportunity. Thankful for the opportunity to be here and continue to grow and work with these people each and every day. It's unbelievable. So we're going to enjoy it, and we'll be thankful, but we will enjoy it tonight.
All right, you got a beautiful family here, and they're all waiting for you. Congratulations. Enjoy the night. All right, Dan.
Gary Lawless chatting with Ryan Craig from downstairs.
What am I going to do next here? Maybe I can grab Never now.
Okay.
Hold on. Can I have 30 seconds, Braden?
Yeah.
We have Braden McNabb now. Braden, you're on with Dan and Gary. Congratulations.
Hey, thank you. Appreciate it.
You were here in this building the night that they had the expansion draft. You knew you were coming here, and you couldn't have expected this 6 years ago on that night.
No, it's been a wild ride. I mean, year one is year one, and a special year. So this fact that we can create a winning culture right off the hop, changed everything. And, we were knocking on the door for the last couple of years, and we were able to break through.
I thought it was fantastic that Mark Stone, took the Stanley Cup and gave it to you six misfits. What was that like for you?
I mean, that's Stoney. He's a great character, great leadership, and we appreciate it being here from the start at the city, and this team means a lot to us. So, that was awesome of it.
Congratulations, Braden. Enjoy the night.
Thank you.
All right, that was Braden McNabb. Mark Stone's got a big crowd. We'll come back to him maybe.
All right, Gary. Well, we'll get back to you as the Golden Knights have won the Stanley Cup. As we continue our live coverage from T-Mobile Arena, Gary is on the ice. All of the players, coaches, staff continue to celebrate, pose for photographs, and, of course, get together with members of the media, Gary among them. And we will have the post-game show in our normal format with Ryan Wallace, but extenuating circumstances here with Gary down on the ice. But fear not, we will have Ryan before too long, and we will have the highlights and everything else coming up on our post-game show as we continue our live coverage of the Golden Knights Stanley Cup Championship here at T-Mobile Arena on this Tuesday night in June. Gary is still downstairs and scouting things out. I think that he has his eyes on number 9 from North Chelmsford, Massachusetts. And we will be getting back to Gary here in just a moment. As we get ready for that, they have gathered a group of different families away from where the cup had been presented. They now have the cup on the ice, positioned just along the boards on the near side, if you can imagine, the blue line to our left. So on the penalty box side of the ice, the cup is along the boards, and you have different families gathering there and photographing, and it looks like the Carlsons have their baby in the Stanley Cup. They do. We, from our vantage point, see the tops of their heads rather than the photograph point of view. We could see everybody leaning in to take the photographs. But yes, the Carlsons have their baby in the Stanley Cup. Okay. Let's go down to Gary.
Thank you. Thanks, Gary. You look great tonight.
How's this feel?
Suit. It feels unbelievable. Best feeling in the world.
Been a long battle for you, and you think about what you've went through and fought for yourself to get the surgery that you needed to get, and then got traded here and turned into a Stanley Cup champion in pretty short order.
Yeah, best feeling. That's all the shit you go through, it's all worth it. Being here now and being able to celebrate Stanley Cup with these guys. Can't thank the organization enough, and everyone from the from the top down. Bill, George, Kelly, to all our athletic trainers, equipment guys. I mean, everybody. Everyone comes to work every day and just does such an amazing job, and makes it that much more special to play here.
Thanks, Jack.
Thank you.
I don't want to bother him too much.
That's Gary Lawless with Jack Eichel. And let's get Gary back with John Stevens now.
Congratulations, John.
Thanks, Gary. I tell you what, it's a reminder how hard it is to win in the league, right? But so happy. I've been down this road before, but every experience is unbelievable. And really, as coach, you're just so happy to watch your players celebrate like this, because they're the ones that put their time and effort and so committed all year. So really happy for the players and really happy for the whole organization.
You guys, I was upstairs with Dan in the radio booth, and to watch you guys, you guys couldn't stop hugging one another, your coaching group. You guys are really close, and a great accomplishment.
Yeah, it's just first year together, but I thought we had a great staff. Our families got close, a lot of support for each other. So, to come full circle, a lot of us moved to a new city, for Berkey and for Mish, for Kreger and Butch, and the whole organization. It was just an absolute thrill.
Congratulations, John. Enjoy the night.
Congrats to you too, man.
Okay, Dan, what do you want next?
Well, Gary, I would invite you. There seem to be a lot of players down here to our side of the ice. William Karlsson and his wife just had their baby in the Stanley Cup, and that's where they seem to be poised for a number of family photographs. But I do see Riley Smith in the neutral zone, and Alec Martinez and Shea Theodore just in front of the penalty boxes here, and now you're getting kind of close to those guys.
Good job, Ted.
Yeah, it's eye in the sky. It looks like
navigator.
Yeah, looks like a few folks are in the vicinity of where you are now. So as Gary continues to roam ice level, once again we have Gary from downstairs. Gary?
We got Riley Smith and a really special guest. Who's this, Riley?
This is my daughter, Isla. And it's a pretty special moment to be able to do this with her.
It's incredible, Riley. You got your whole family here and scored a goal in the Stanley Cup final. And you came here, didn't know what it was going to be like, and now you're a Stanley Cup champion.
Yeah, you never know what to expect when you come to Vegas. What a dream come true it's been. So proud to be able to call this place home. And I think these fans, the support they've given us over the years, they deserve a championship.
You really love this place. You've created a charity. You've raised a ton of money for people in this community, and now, oh hi Ella, aren't you cute? And now you brought a championship. It's this place means a lot to you.
It does, for sure. So, right now, so many things going on, just trying to soak in the moment and making the best of it. Obviously, it's amazing to be able to share this with my family, my daughter, my wife. It's tough to put it into words.
Thanks very much for giving us this time. That's very cool, Riley, with his little baby there. There's something else. That's something to see, Dan. And
indeed, it is. And right now, Gary, Alec Martinez looks like is talking to Gino, and just a little bit to your left. And maybe you can snag Alec Martinez.
Sure.
You can let him know, Gary, that in his Stanley Cup final career, his record is now 12-4. He's won it 3 times, and he has 4 goals in those 15 games. Now 16.
I'm going to horn in on this.
Okay.
It might be a little different, a little bit more low key. First one, I was single and it was just my buddies, and then a couple guys got married the second time around, and now there's a lot of wives and kids around. So I'm sure it'll get slightly out of hand, but it will be different. Yeah.
Alec, thank you. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Congratulations, Alec.
As the game's unfolding, that this is actually going to happen.
I don't know. You're just itching and wait for that buzzer to go off. trying to. It's human nature to think about the end, but you just got to try to stay in it.
12-4 now in Stanley Cup final games. You got a pretty good little run going.
Yeah, I don't know. I said it. I don't know what I did in life in order to be able to play on these good hockey clubs and play with such awesome players and awesome people. But I mean, what they've done, you look at those so-called misfits, the guys that were here, and the things that they've done for this city, and vice versa, the things that this city has done for them, to see them build this and the whole organization. It's pretty awesome.
I asked you in December, do you have to go? You got to go, you go. All right.
Yeah.
Congratulations. Wonderful. Good for you. They've got something there. There's a bunch. They're taking a bunch of different photos.
Everybody wants somebody to be somewhere right now with all the photographs. As I described a few moments ago, the Stanley Cup has been positioned down beneath us. And it seems in a primary position for family photographs, whereas a lot of the photos and staged stuff earlier was among the players and coaches. Now this is the chance for everybody to kind of get their family with the cup.
We have Zach Whitecloud. He just looked at me and said, "What do you want?" I want you for Dan Dula. What do you think?
Oh, hey, Dan, how we doing?
tell him I say hi,
up
Gary.
there?
Yeah, he's up there. He says hi. Congratulations, Zach.
Thank
You're
you.
a Stanley Cup champion.
Everyone is, Gary. Everyone is.
Not everyone, just the people in Vegas tonight.
That's right. So proud of this city, and to be able to do it for everyone that supported this team from day one.
Dan and I talk all the time about when we met you, when you signed. You had decisions to make, and you made the decision to come to Vegas. I guess it was a good one.
It's always been the right one. It's it's been home for 4 or 5 years now, and it'll always be my home.
You've had a long climb, different route than other people. You turned into a really good NHL player, and
I would say that.
I would. You're a fantastic player.
Too nice, though.
I'm actually not too nice at all. What's this like in the arc of your career to have this moment?
It's tough. It's tough to articulate the words. Just grateful for the opportunity to be able to be part of this team and this organization. And I've been saying it from day one. It's good people first, and then hockey takes care of itself.
You got your family here tonight. What's that like for you?
It's unbelievable. I mean, it's these are, and there's a lot of other people behind the scenes that weren't able to make it, right? And it's everyone that's put in the time, the driving, the gas, the hotels, all that stuff. It's a lot. So it's be able to spend this time with them, and it's just grateful.
Enjoy the night.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
Thank you. I see William Carlson, and he's not really busy, so I'll see if someone's spinning me around. Oh, it's Garrett Keller.
Love you, Daddy.
All right.
Congratulations. Hold on, Danny. Don't get,
Garrett, of all people, should know that you're live on the air.
Yes.
Garrett, for those who don't know, a terrific member of our communications staff. When we tell you that we're about to have a live interview from the dressing room, very often Garrett Calloway is the person who arranges those interviews. You mentioned earlier he and Nate Ewell and India Shea, just a tremendous job behind the scenes. We don't mention their names as often as they deserve, but they are big parts of this. Gary, back to you.
Yeah, we're live. We got William Carlson. Dan's upstairs. Congratulations, William.
Thank you very much.
What was that like?
It was, nothing I've ever experienced before. So just a lot of emotions.
What was it? When did you find out that it was going to be you, Jonathan, and Riley, Braden, and Shea in the starting lineup?
Just minutes before, we went out there. Bruce just kind of went with five misfits. He said sorry to Will because he can't start everyone. But that's pretty much what he said. And, it was a cool feeling.
You don't grow up in life wanting to be called a misfit, but it might be the greatest thing you've ever been called now.
I'm a proud Golden Misfit.
And a proud Stanley Cup champion.
That too.
You had a fantastic playoff. This was some of the best hockey you've ever played. What was it like tonight when you really got a stranglehold on this game?
We responded so well after their 2-1 goal, and it's 6-1 after 2, and then obviously we're in a good position then. Florida did push back pretty good, but by then the lead was too big, and we could comfortably kind of let the clock tick and win.
A little bit of pride that your old winger Jonathan Marchessault wins Conn Smythe.
Yeah, I mean, what a playoffs he's had, and he deserves it. And he's had a pretty cool journey, from going undrafted and all that. So, and look at him now.
There's a rumor going around that you had your baby in the Stanley Cup.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I put him in there. He seemed to enjoy it, so it was a cool feeling.
Congratulations, William. Thank you very much. That's William Carlson.
Gary, I see Bruce Cassidy is not too far if you look straight ahead.
Yep.
Bruce Cassidy's chatted with all number of different members of the media, and he's going to chat with Gary Lawless as let's go to Gary right now.
Congratulations, Bruce.
Thanks, Gary. Terrific feeling. Been a hell of a year.
You look pretty emotional.
Well, it is. It's an emotional situation, right? You win a Stanley Cup, and it's all I've ever wanted is get my name in the damn cup. There it is, and happy for the family and the Knights, and it's great. It's really terrific.
It's almost a year to the day that you got hired.
What's that?
It's almost a year to the day that you got hired.
Yeah, that is. It worked out really well. You don't know things at the time, but it's worked out really well.
You built a really good team. This team got places without you, and you took them to another level. That must be a real sense of pride.
It's gratifying, right? I mean, that's my job, and to get over the hump, and I didn't quite get over it a few years back, and we're over it this year. So credit to the players for responding and getting the job done.
You're a hell of a coach. Congratulations.
Thanks, Gary. Appreciate that.
There he is. That is head coach Bruce Cassidy. And for the first time, he is a Stanley Cup champion. He reached the Stanley Cup final back in 2019 and didn't make it. Lost to Alex Pietrangelo and Ivan Barbashev in the Stanley Cup final that year. But now, once again, he's back. And this time he is a winner. Let's go back to Gary Lawless.
Mark Stone, captain of the Vegas Golden Knights, Stanley Cup champions. Congratulations.
Unbelievable feeling, isn't it? Everybody pours their heart and soul into this organization, and here we are.
You had back surgery about 5 months ago, and you got to lift that thing over your head tonight.
Yeah, I mean, it's an unbelievable feeling. It's why you put in the hours to get back to be part of the group. You want to be part of the group. You want to be having success with the group, and here we are. We're best team in the world, the best hockey team in the world. It's the best.
It's just pretty cool. You got your dad, your mom, your brother, everybody around here. You had a hat trick tonight. It's the first time in 100 years that someone had a hat trick in the clinching game of the Stanley Cup.
Yeah, I'm not really thinking about that, honestly. Just thinking about coming out, skating onto the ice to celebrate with the team. it's a special feeling. So love it. Never regret. Never forget it.
What do these people mean to you?
Yeah, I mean, my mom and dad, they put in the crazy hours at the rink for me and my brother to play this game. And I met my wife, who packed up her stuff and moved to Vegas, not knowing anything about the city, just trusting, I guess trusted me in my decision to come here, and just a support system, right? They're your biggest fans. They always think you play good, right? Even when you don't. So it's unbelievable.
Congratulations, Mark.
Thanks, Gary.
You as dad, so we will, Dan.
Yeah, go
Is that
for
okay?
it. Yeah,
We have Rob Stone, father of Mark. His wife, Jackie. Rob's wife just scooted away. You know what, Jackie? You were pretty nervous the other night when I saw you. Not nervous anymore.
No, we're not nervous. He did a good job. It worked out really well.
You raised 2 NHL players, and one's the captain of a Stanley Cup team. That's about as good as it gets for a hockey parent.
Absolutely. Now, if you'd have told me this 20 years ago, I'd have said it probably not happening. But hey, they both play well in the NHL, and that's all you can ask for.
The last 12 months must have been kind of scary for you. 2 back surgeries for Mark, and
a little nervous about the second one, especially when it happened so fast. And we were at that game. He had one shift, I think, 3 minutes in, and then where is he going? And oh well, it is what it is. He came back, and he did a pretty darn good job.
What was this like? What was it like for you tonight? Like when he's got a hat trick. Like you
know what? That first goal, I said to his brother, I said, "That's Mark. That's what he does." Yeah. So I figured they should win today. This thing could have been over in 4. Really, it really could have. But it was nice to see it at home. It's good. I'm proud of all of them. Eichel amazes me. They all amaze me. Really, they played really well. There was no weak links, which is what it takes to win Stanley Cups.
You were a sports writer in Sault Ste. Marie.
Correct.
When you were a sports writer in Sault Ste. Marie, if someone had said to you, someday you'll be on the ice in Las Vegas, Nevada, watching your son lift up the Stanley Cup, what would you have said?
No, I would have said absolutely not. But hey, it's worked out. I wasn't even planning on having kids back then. So it's worked out. That's pretty good. It's a great experience. Can't get any better. No.
Thank you.
Hockey over the years, so this takes the cake.
Thanks very much, Rob. Congratulations. A great night for your family. Wow, you know what? He didn't want to give us an interview. It might have been the best of the night, Dan.
Yeah.
That was fantastic.
Well, Gary, I think a lot of people are very happy he decided to have kids after all, or else this might not be happening.
No kidding.
Yeah.
No kidding. I don't know. I was looking for Bill Foley, but I think he's slipped into the night. So
Yeah, very well, maybe.
You want me to keep hunting, Danny? What are we doing?
Well, Gary, I think we have come to the point where we've gathered as much as we can to capture the situation,
Chandler
so we can put a little cap on it. I think it's about that time.
One more, Chandler Stevenson?
Yeah.
All right. I'll see if
he's won the Cup twice, and he has done it the only 2 times it's happened in this building, with the Caps in 2018 and, of course, here tonight. The majority of players are still out there, folks, trying to take photos with their families and the Stanley Cup. And it's just a sight to behold. The fans, for the most part, have been escorted out. Some dozens remain. The scene has not changed all that much for the better part of the last half hour or so. Everybody, all 19,058, stayed in the building, of course, to watch the Cup. Gary is once more downstairs, and we'll check in with the insider once again.
Well, they're going to take a picture with the fathers. Go ahead. Go. I'll wait, Chandler. They want a family picture with the baby and Chandler's brother.
Yeah, describe it for us, Gary.
So Chandler's brother and his mom and dad, and Chandler and his wife, and they've got a cute little baby, and Dad's holding it. And they got a whole bunch of people from Saskatchewan that I think flew in, and they're super excited. So I want to ask Chandler if he prefers the one he won on this ice 5 years ago, or this one. Is that a cheeky question, Danny?
I'm going to guess which one.
Hey, Chandler, congratulations.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
I have to ask you this. Which one is better, the one you won on this ice 6 years ago or this one?
I mean, they're both special. Obviously the first one's your first one, and now to do it in front of the home crowd, and to win another one is special in itself.
How about your winger, Mark Stone?
Yeah, I mean, there's not really much you can't say. Just truly what a captain is. With his competitiveness. There's really no words to describe it. Tonight was just a prime example. Starting us off and then leading by example. For the entire 60 minutes.
A little bit of a journey from you get the phone call, you've been traded from the Washington Capitals for a 5th-round draft pick to the Golden Knights. Probably didn't know what to expect, and wow, you become an all-star. You've become one of the best centers in the National Hockey League, and now you won another Stanley Cup.
Yeah, it's it's pretty crazy. Since that day in coming here, it's just they really helped me out, this team, and really saved my career, and it's been. They let me get back to what I wanted to be as a hockey player, and how I wanted to play.
I have Chandler's brother here as well. What's it like watching your brother do this?
It feels like a dream. Watching it feels like a dream. It doesn't really hasn't sunk in yet. I can't believe he's here. This is probably the best place to do it in. Let's go.
What's it like having your family, your child, your wife, mom and dad, and your brother?
Yeah, I mean that's everything. To have family here. From being little, playing street hockey, going to the outdoor rink, making me the person I am, and ultimately the player I am. So, family's everything, and obviously to have them here is, that's what it's all about. And to have, obviously my son, it's pretty special.
Well, this is Vegas. It doesn't close, and you got a cup to drink out of. So have a good one, pal.
Thanks, Gary.
All right, Dan.
Well, Gary, I think it's about time to wrap it up. So we've got Ryan Wallace has been standing by patiently. So before we say goodnight to our radio listeners here, this will be our last opportunity to speak to our audience as the broadcast duo that we have been for the last 6 years. It'll be our final sign-off, Gary. And if once more you could do us the favor and the honor of painting a picture of what it looks like down there and all the people that you have seen. And, of course, Gary is such a popular fellow as we try to send this broadcast deep into the night. He is once again greeted by handshakes and hugs at every turn. But, Gary, if you could give us one more scene set of what you have been surrounded by on the ice.
Well, I'm standing right now, Dan, right where they had the riser on the night of the expansion draft. I was here for it. It was in my second week of working for the Vegas Golden Knights, and it's just surreal to come to this moment and see all of these people. There's a bunch of people on the ice right now. McCrimmon, McPhee, Katie Bettinger, Andrew Lagerner, Tom Parashka, a lot of people that were here at the start. Kerry Buboltz, the team president, Todd Pollock, who was the first guy that Bill Foley hired, Peter Sadowski, his lawyer, who has been part of this from the very beginning. All these people are here and sharing in this moment. Will Nickel, the director of player development. Chris Davidson Adams has got looks to me like it's his mother. He's got two sons and his wife. There's a lot. This is a family moment, and it's a city moment, and it's a state moment. This is truly a Stanley. You said it beautifully when you said the Silver State now has the greatest silver trophy of all. That it's the truth. And I'm looking up here, somewhere up here in the rafters, Danny, next year they're going to have a Stanley Cup banner, a banner that says the city of Las Vegas is a Stanley Cup champion. And it has been, every year we've done this, it has been fantastic. Year one will never be replaced, but this was something even a little, for me personally, even a little more special. They got it done. They won it. I want to thank you. I'm so lucky to get to work with you night in and night out. You are the best at what you do. I know how much work you put into it. I know how much you care about it. And I know the listeners know it too, because it comes through every night. You do a fantastic job. Ray and Joe and Justin, everybody else upstairs, just fantastic. I'm just wrapping up here, fellas. It's been a great experience, Dan. Thanks for having me along for the ride.
It's been my honor, Gary. Thank you.
I'm waving at you, buddy.
Well, when they first played a game here 6 years ago, we described it at the time of tears of sadness and tears of joy. There were a special kind of tears that first night, followed by a lot of cheers, not only that night, but throughout the season. Amazing. People cried, people cheered, and people hoped. And now this team, Vegas-born, shines like a beacon for togetherness and gratefulness. The Vegas Golden Knights are 2023 Stanley Cup champions, and we thank you for being part of it all. Big thanks once again to our engineers in the broadcast booth. Ray Regal, Joe Sands pushing all the right buttons. Big thanks to our broadcast assistant, Justin Russo, our statistician extraordinaire, Ray LeBeff, and, of course, Bobby Machado, our extraordinary engineer back in the studio. Bobby has been with us from the very beginning, of course. We never get to see Bobby in person, but he is there for, I'm going to say, 99.5% of our broadcasts from the beginning. Thank you very much, Bobby. Once again, the final score in Game 5, the Golden Knights 9, the Florida Panthers 3 in Game 5 of the Stanley Cup Final. The Knights win the championship. For Golden Knights insider Gary Lawless, Dan Duva saying so long from T-Mobile Arena until next year. And have a great, great Golden Night. Post-game show is next with Ryan Wallace. Presented by Dollar Loan Center. You have been listening to the Stanley Cup Final on the Vegas Golden Knights Radio Network.
Thanks for listening to the Vegas Golden Knights Radio Network. Vegas Golden Knights Hockey. Stay tuned for the Vegas Golden Knights postgame show. Coming up next, here on the Vegas Golden Knights Radio Network. Stay up to date with the latest from the NHL and the Vegas Golden Knights. Here on Fox Sports Las Vegas, 98.9 FM and 1340 AM KKGK Las Vegas.
The growth at Rad Diversified has been incredible. My name is Dutch Mendenhall, CEO and co-founder at Rad Diversified. While the market continues to plummet, we continue to deliver incredible results for our investors through our diverse and lucrative portfolio of real estate and cash flowing investment. In less than 3 years, the value at Rad REIT has more than doubled. See what makes us rad at raddiversified.com today. That's RAD diversified.com.
Running a business gets more complicated every year, so you need a trusted advisor in your corner, especially when it comes to your workers' comp program. Pro Group Management has been helping Nevada's self-insured businesses for over 20 years. Whether your business is retail, trucking, building, agriculture, or auto, our team has the expertise to make sure your coverage meets your needs, and at a price that fits your budget. Our award-winning team keeps track of all the important regulatory issues that impact your business. We help with safety, compliance, and inspections, because that's what you should expect from a trusted business partner. Find out how to have Pro Group Management work for you. Visit our website at pgmnv.com to receive a free cost savings analysis now. That's pgmnv.com. Or call our Las Vegas office at 702-740-4380. Pro Group Management. Workers' comp that works for you.
It's time for the Vegas Golden Knights postgame show presented by AAA Insurance. Now here's Ryan Wallace on the Golden Knights Radio Network.
Welcome in to tonight's postgame show presented by AAA Insurance, the Vegas Golden Knights.
are the 2023 Stanley Cup champions. Vegas has climbed the mountain 6 years. The prophecy fulfilled for the Vegas Golden Knights. Bill Foley famously said playoffs in 3, Cup in 6, and the Golden Knights deliver on that proclamation and create their own brand of history. Let's go back up to the radio booth, bring in the voice of the Golden Knights, Dan Duva. And you know what, Dan? Let's just start with you. What does this moment mean to you?
Well, I thought you would have heard enough of me by now. Normally, the 2.5 hours of hockey is more than enough. 2 hours and 35 minutes was the time of the game, by the way. But I feel like we've been chatting for at least another hour with the celebration, the presentation, and the interviews at ice level. The cup is still out there, by the way. Normally, it does not quite go this long. Normally, they've hauled it off by now. It's the game ended at 7:55. It's now 9:28. So I've sat in this chair for so many games, Ryan, over the course of the last 6 years, and it is a treat each and every time to do this, to share it with you and with Gary and with all of our behind-the-scenes crew, and especially share it with our listener. The heart that gets poured into a team, and the team is on the ice, of course, but it's a team behind the scenes as well, that everybody does so much to make all of this happen. So it's quite rewarding and fulfilling that we get to share all of this.
The beautiful thing, I think the aspect of this game is that for the Golden Knights, they played so well, right? And you got the sense you could get to enjoy a bit there anyway, the third period, the crescendo that was building for the fans, understanding that the Golden Knights were going to get this done. When you have those moments, when you've got the build, how much does it change? Because, it really felt like a party in this game from about the middle of the third period on.
Ask Alec Martinez about how different it might feel if the game goes to overtime and you can win or lose on a single shot. And as he knows so well, he win the Stanley Cup on a shot. I mean, that's just so rare in the history of the National Hockey League to win a championship on an overtime goal. And Alec was the last to do it. So a little bit of a different feel here in this one, to have the biggest offensive output in franchise history to come in the biggest game in franchise history is just beyond belief.
Well, it's beyond belief, but that's been the script for the Golden Knights in this postseason.
You said it. That is just it. And their closeout games have been some of their most impressive. And Bruce Cassidy said it on our pregame show today. I brought up the reality of the Bruins having a 3-1 series lead and blowing it. Bruce was quick to say, yeah, but that was a while ago. so he wasn't going to be, forced into sugarcoating or, finding a certain narrative that's, maybe more appropriate or diplomatic. No, he basically said, when they play their best and we play our best, we believe we're the better team. And today the Golden Knights clearly gave the full measure, and the Panthers were not quite up to it, especially without their top-scoring player in Matthew Tkachuk. But the fact that the Knights got it off and rolling with 2 goals in the first period, that they had a 2-0 advantage going into the second, and then when they gave up a goal, they responded with 4 in a row, and that has been the thread, as you pointed out. When they have hit a rough patch or thrown a dud out, they have responded just to grow even more and build even more, and that growth mindset has been here with Bruce Cassidy from day one.
When you look at this game tonight for the Golden Knights, Mark Stone gets a hat trick. That's just fantastic stuff. And you start to look at the building blocks for this moment. And I don't know that there's a bigger building block for the Golden Knights getting to a Stanley Cup championship in year 6 than the acquisition of Mark Stone.
Yeah, that's it. That is it. And as much as you love the hat trick today and the 24 points he puts up in the postseason, and the 5 goals in the final, all of that stuff's great. The leadership is the intangible, to me, means even more. And this is a roster filled with leadership and experience, cup winning experience. But something about Mark Stone puts him in a category unlike any player who's put on a Golden Knights uniform. And frankly, I can think of only a handful of people I've ever met in all sports, all levels, all teams who have a certain leadership quality that you can't help but want to be on his side and do everything that you can do to make sure that you're making him proud of you. And I don't even play for the guy.
Dan, I've been asked probably a dozen times over the last 24 hours as to what I thought the handoff would be. And, to be completely honest with you, I felt like it would be what we saw tonight.
Yeah.
Mark Stone to Riley Smith to Jonathan Marchessault, Jonathan Marchessault to William Karlsson, to Braden McNabb, to Shea Theodore, to Will Carrier. The ability for this team to recognize how they've changed, but really what the foundation is of this organization.
Yeah, and that is a perfect closure to the circle of today's starting lineup.
Mm-hmm.
That Bruce Cassidy, just something that I had not really even considered until we saw the lineup, that it would be those guys. And then apologizing to Will Carrier because you only have five skaters, and he was the sixth. That was just a wonderful touch. And you got a little taste of it from Will Karlsson when Gary asked him about it, that just must have put everybody in position to come out and do what they ended up doing. It is a team that has built and built and built, and not always with easy decisions along the way. But the job of a president, of a manager, of a coach is to make the hard decisions to get the ultimate prize, and that is a championship. And this is a special team with the players who have been part of it. Each guy had a role. And there was not a single guy in the lineup who was not instrumental in some way, shape, or form of making this championship a reality.
9-3 final. The Golden Knights dispatched the Florida Panthers in 5 games, win their first Stanley Cup championship in franchise history 6 years after it all began. Dan, any final thoughts on this one?
Oh, boy. Well, I began to say this with a couple of minutes to go, and, there was an icing or something happened, and I had to kind of sidestep it. But, Gary described the banner that will be hung across the way here at T-Mobile Arena next year, and that'll be just a couple of banners down from the banner that memorializes the 58 lives that were lost here back in 2017, and to think about not only, what happened then, but how so many people have come together, people who have sacrificed a lot, and it's not hockey players or coaches or people who are necessarily part of the organization, just a lot of people in this community that needed something to root for, something to believe in. And this franchise arrived at just the right time. And when called upon to lift a community, they did exactly that. And while they came up just shy of that ultimate goal in year one, they have made good on that destiny here 5 years later. So I think not only about the people who were here to celebrate with us today, but I also think about the people who were not, but we sure do wish they were.
Just perfectly said, Dan. You are the best in the business. It is an honor every day to come to work and get to do this with you. And I hope you enjoy the night, and I'll see you at the parade.
Now, that's the one word we have not yet mentioned. I don't know if it's been announced yet, but I think it's going to be a couple of days before that comes to reality. I don't want to jump the gun on anything, but the parade will be just a scene like Vegas has never seen before. It'll be something. But thank you so much, Ryan, for the kind words. It has been just so much fun. After every game, win or lose, we have a great conversation like this, and it's a lot of fun for me to kind of exhale and debrief with you. And I so much enjoy getting to hear your interactions with the fans who call in on the post-game show, and of course you and Darren on the Insider Show. It's just a big part of this whole broadcast is what you do. So a big thank you for everything that you've done, not only this season, but throughout our time together. It's been a special run. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dan. You're absolutely right. It has been special. The Golden Knights, Stanley Cup champions, 9-3, the final score here from T-Mobile Arena. We're back with more on the AAA Insurance postgame show, presented by Dollar Loan Center. This is the Vegas Golden Knights Radio Network.
Nice fans, the time has come for the ultimate showdown. The battle for the cup is here, and there's no better place to catch the games than at the Betfred at Mohegan Sun Sportsbook. With a variety of betting options and a top-notch viewing experience, you'll be right in the heart of the action. Conveniently located inside Virgin Hotels Las Vegas, the Betfred at Mohegan Sun Sportsbook is the perfect spot to enjoy the thrill of the game like never before. Must be 21 years of age. Wagers only accepted in Nevada. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700.
STN Sports is the only sports betting app you need this season. STN Sports has it all. In-play betting, mobile parlay cards, the Play Plus card to fund and withdraw from anywhere in Nevada, and a $50 new sign-up bonus. STN Sports even lets you earn rewards for every bet. Safe and easy betting from your phone or tablet. Go to stationcasinosports.com or sign up at any Station Casino or Wildfire. Details available at all sports books.
Listen up! Your share at winning over $500,000 in free fuel and products is just a tap away with the Terrible Social House app. Yes! With a qualifying purchase at the pump or in-store, you can shop, spin, and win directly on your phone. Win free products that you can redeem instantly in-store, or if you're feeling lucky, you could land on free fuel towards your next fill-up. Shop, spin, and win. Download and play today. Terribles. Deliberately different since 1959. Go to terribles.com for more details.
I'm Danger, a maestro of fear, skilled at scaring you into buying insurance. You've heard my work. It's my job to tell you about the bad stuff that can happen to your car or home. Ready for the big explosion? Here we...
This scare tactic has been interrupted by AAA Insurance. With affordable auto and home insurance, plus America's most recommended roadside, AAA doesn't need scare tactics because we offer coverage confidence. Visit AAA.com for details and choose coverage confidence. AAA. Outsmart life.
We're back to the Vegas Golden Knights postgame show, presented by AAA Insurance. Now, here's your host, Ryan Wallace.
Stay tuned Wednesday for more details on the official victory celebration of your Stanley Cup champion, Vegas Golden Knights. The realm is united and ready to celebrate on the Strip, so plan to join your fellow fans at the biggest party this city of parties has ever seen. It's the AAA Insurance postgame show. The Vegas Golden Knights defeat the Florida Panthers 9-3 and take the Stanley Cup final 4-1. It's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful night for all Vegas Golden Knights fans. The postgame injury report is brought to you by UMC, the exclusive hospital of the Vegas Golden Knights. On the Vegas side, it didn't look like there was anybody any worse for wear after this series, which bodes well for that victory celebration at a later date to be announced soon. But for the Golden Knights, they got through this postseason relatively healthy, and I think that's the biggest key for me in terms of why they are the champions, why they were able to go 16 wins deep in the postseason. You need health, you need a little bit of luck in certain situations, and the Golden Knights being healthy is a big reason why they are the best team in the National Hockey League this season. Let's take a look at the highlights in this game. We know we've got plenty of them. And you know what, for the Golden Knights, it was a rocky start, a little jittery at the beginning, and they take a penalty around the middle of the first period. Aiden Hill would make a big pad save while shorthanded. Then Mark Stone would come in on a shorthanded breakaway, delay, and beat Sergei Bobrovsky to open the scoring.
Panthers carried back in, an errant drop pass, gathered ahead, Stu on one, Stone with Stevenson, Stone stops, shoots, he scores! The double fist pump, the high five with White Cloud, the embrace with Stevenson, short-handed goal, the captain, Mark Stone, gives Vegas a 1-0 lead in Game 5 of the Stanley Cup Final.
Mark Stone, his 9th goal of the postseason, shorthanded, unassisted goal, 11:52 into the first period, made it 1-0 Vegas. Then just 2 minutes later, the Golden Knights would extend the lead as Jack Eichel broke in with Ivan Barbashev. Sergei Bobrovsky made a big stop on Eichel, but Nick Hague found the rebound to make it 2-0.
Eichel right side, pulls to the middle, couldn't get a shot away. Now he does, it's loose at the goal line. Another try, they score! Big pile up. The Knights celebrate a goal. Still cracks at a loose puck. And just now they pull the pile apart. As Barbashev looked like he got it in the face while he was down in the crease. Eventually Nick Hague put it home. It appears the Knights have taken a 2-0 lead.
Nick Hague, second of the postseason from Jack Eichel and Jonathan Marchessault. 13:41 of the first period made it 2-0 Vegas, and the Golden Knights would take that 2-0 lead into the second period. You expected that the Panthers, down 2, would have a strong push. They got on the board early in the second as Aaron Ekblad's floater found the back of the net.
Barbashev tried the reverse hit but lost the puck. Goes out high for a shot, score! From the right point, defenseman Aaron Ekblad gets it through a lot of traffic. Ekblad's second goal of the playoffs. He makes it a 1-goal game. 2 minutes and 15 seconds into the second period.
Ekblad's second goal of the postseason from Nick Cousins. 2:15 of the second period made it 2-1 Vegas, but the Golden Knights responded in kind with 4 straight goals.
Panthers back to the neutral zone. Steal at center as Eichel lifted a stick. The free puck to Pietrangelo in his own zone. Stretch pass. Eichel is in with a cutter. Third man Martinez scores. Alec Martinez, 3-1 Golden Knights. Theodore straight on. Theodore to the left circle on the outside. McNabb. Theodore again out high. A wrist shot. Knocked down in front. Here with Carlson. Now Smith. He scores. Carlson between his own legs to Riley Smith. The Knights take a 4-1 lead. Connects with Stevenson. Charges into the zone. Drop back for Howden. Extra pass. Stone shooting. He scores. 2 goals for Stone. 5-1 Knights. A 4-goal lead in Game 5. Panthers can't clear it out. Out in front, a tip shot save. Rebound, Amadio is there. Penalty coming. Did the puck go in? There are 3 players in the goal. Was the puck there too? Michael Amadio was in the crease. He got decked into the goal along with the puck and Sergei Bobrovsky. And the Golden Knights have taken a 6-1 lead with 1 second to go in the period.
What was a 2-1 lead for the Golden Knights expanded to a 6-1 lead. Alec Martinez made it 3-1. Riley Smith made it 4-1. Mark Stone's second of the goal of the game made it 5-1. And Michael Amadio with 1.2 seconds left in the second period made it 6-1 Vegas. So the Golden Knights would take that big lead into the third period. And Aiden Hill came up big with our AAA insurance save of the game.
Now at the other end, a drop pass to Claire. Oh my goodness! A glove save by Hill! No way! No way! Duclair with a goal on his stick. Looked like he had the back of the net right in front of him. Hill reached out to his left and stole it away.
AAA is a proud sponsor of the Vegas Golden Knights, helping you outsmart life on the road and at home with 24/7 roadside assistance, car repair discounts, DMV services, and savings on your home and auto insurance. AAA, outsmart life. So the biggest save, the best save of the game for Aiden Hill, kept the party going, as did Ivan Barbashev's 7th goal of the playoffs to make it 7-1.
After the face-off win for Vegas, an Eichel backhander on goal save. Rebound, they score! Barbashev in front. 7-1 Golden Knights. The party is on in Las Vegas.
Ivan Barbashev from Jack Eichel and Shea Theodore, 8:22 of the third period, made it 7-1 Vegas. But the Florida Panthers would get one back just 25 seconds later as Sam Reinhart scored his first of the final.
Panthers score now. Sam Reinhart found a loose puck and rifles it in the top left corner. Reinhart gets one back for Florida. It is now once again a 5-goal advantage.
Reinhart from Bennett and Montour, 8:47 of the third period, made it 7-2 Vegas. And then the Florida Panthers would score another as Sam Bennett's point shot went off of Alex Pietrangelo and in.
There's a point shot, and it's tipped into the goal out in front after a drive from out high by Sam Bennett. There was a tip in front. I believe Verhaeghe was in front. So the Knights lead has got to 7-3 with 8:21 to go in the third period.
Sam Bennett from Gustav Forsling and Sam Reinhart, 11:39 of the third period, made it 7-3 Vegas. So with that push from Florida, Paul Maurice pulled Sergei Bobrovsky early to try and spark the comeback. Mark Stone hit the post on his first look, missed wide on his second look, but put it home on his third, completing the hat trick.
Bennett looking cross-ice. Stone intercepts. This time he sends it down in a waffle and go into the goal. It's a hat trick in the clincher. Mark Stone, the captain, makes it 8-3 Golden Knights with 6 minutes to go in the third period.
Mark Stone, hat trick goal, 11th of the postseason, empty netter, 14:06 unassisted, 8-3 Vegas, and late in the period, Nick Waugh scored to make it 9-3.
Now a loose puck trickles behind. Waugh scores with 1:02 to go. A 9th goal for the Knights.
Nick Waugh's third of the postseason from Shea Theodore and Braden McNabb, 18:58 of the third period, made it 9-3 Vegas, and all that was left in this one was the championship call.
A devotion to destiny. Misfits to champions. The Vegas Golden Knights win the Stanley Cup in 2023. The first Stanley Cup championship in Golden Knights history comes in their 6th season. The Silver State is home to the greatest silver trophy in all of sports. The mob is behind Aiden Hill's goal. All the players swarming one another, jubilant in celebration. The fans on their feet can't stop.
There you have it, 9-3, the final. The Golden Knights defeat the Florida Panthers, Game 5 of the Stanley Cup Final, to win their first championship in franchise history. And with tonight's Golden Knights win, you win as well. Enjoy 31% off menu price pizzas at Pizza Hut tomorrow using the code VGKWINS on pizzahut.com. We're back with more on the AAA Insurance postgame show, presented by Dollar Loan Center. This is the Vegas Golden Knights Radio Network.
There was a time when business owners expected more from a bank, when their calls would be answered and the products that were offered matched their needs. It was a time when accountability was common. Well, that time is right now at Bank of Nevada. We offer incredible personal service along with a wide range of customizable solutions designed to help your business thrive. Bank on accountability with Bank of Nevada. Learn more at bankofnevada.com, a division of Western Alliance Bank, member FDIC.
Hi, I'm attorney Adam Kuttner. I grew up playing hockey. To win in hockey, you have to be aggressive, you have to work hard, and you have to have a great team. And it's no different when I'm representing my clients in their personal injury cases. My team and I work hard to get you the maximum settlement as quickly as possible, because winning is everything.
If you've been injured in an accident, ask attorney Adam Kuttner, 702-382-0000. That's 382-0000.
Chuck, I know it's super easy, but can you walk our listeners through the process of getting a signature loan at Dollar Loan Center?
You'll just need a couple things. Bring along your state-issued ID, recent pay stub, and a few pieces of mail to prove where you live. And if you're getting a loan online at don'tbebroke.com, you can scan and upload all your documents right to our members area.
Sounds easy. How long does the whole process take?
For a new customer, all this takes around 30 minutes, and you're out the door cash in hand. And your first week's interest is on us.
That was Chuck. And to celebrate 25 years in business, he's offering free loans to all new customers. No fee to apply and a week of free interest. We have over 50 locations. Apply over the phone or online at don'tbebroke.com. Don't forget, your first loan is free in 2023 at the DLC.
Free loan means if you pay after loan 1 week or less, the interest is free. You are still required to repay the principal amount. Licensed by the Data Financial Institutions Division. Customer must meet minimum loan qualifications. For review loan qualifications, visit us at don'tbebroke.com. Certain limitations may apply. Loans are subject to approval.
We're back to the Vegas Golden Knights postgame show, presented by AAA Insurance. Now, here's your host, Ryan Wallace.
Stock up on your Stanley Cup Champions gear by visiting one of the team stores at the Armory at T-Mobile Arena, the Arsenal at City National Arena, the Livery at Lifeguard Arena, or the Saddlery at the Dollar Loan Center. All will feature new Stanley Cup champion merch when they open tomorrow, and you can also visit VegasTeamStore.com. It's the AAA Insurance postgame show. The Vegas Golden Knights have defeated the Florida Panthers in 5 games here at the Stanley Cup Final, and the Golden Knights are now the Stanley Cup champions. First championship in franchise history. Of course, their second trip to the Stanley Cup final. That one also ended here at T-Mobile Arena in Game 5, but it was one of those moments where you learn, you grow, you understand what it takes to ultimately get over the hump. And for a lot of Golden Knights, specifically the original Misfits, right? William Karlsson, Jonathan Marchessault, Riley Smith, Will Carrier, Shea Theodore, Braden McNabb, for those 6 players, understanding the heartbreak of what happened in 2018 and finding ways to push and get back to this moment. And then you get another opportunity, another crack, knowing exactly what you want to accomplish and what you want to bring to this city. It has to feel amazing. It has to be absolute elation for those 6 players because they are the foundation of the Vegas Golden Knights. We talked about it with Dan, right? The trade for Mark Stone, you bring in your captain, that alters your franchise. You go out there, you sign Alex Pietrangelo, it alters your franchise for the better, for the positive. Same thing with going out and acquiring Jack Eichel. Jack Eichel, Stanley Cup champion Jack Eichel. But you can only do those things if the foundation is solid. And the Golden Knights, Kelly McCrimmon, George McPhee, the work that they did at the expansion draft, understanding how to evaluate talent as properly as they did, then going out there and making a team that pushed it to within 3 wins of a Stanley Cup in year number 1, recognizing how you can build, how you can tweak, how you can grow to make the team on the ice better year over year over year, and it culminates in this. But you cannot build it without a great foundation. The fact that Mark Stone and this Golden Knights team recognized that by handing the trophy off the way that they did speaks volumes to how much these guys understand, recognize, and acknowledge how special this moment is for everybody in the organization and everybody listening around Vegas right now. We're back to wrap it up next on the AAA Insurance Postgame Show, presented by Dollar Loan Center. This is the Vegas Golden Knights Radio Network.
The growth at Rad Diversified has been incredible. My name is Dutch Mendenhall, CEO and co-founder at Rad Diversified. While the market continues to plummet, we continue to deliver incredible results for our investors through our diverse and lucrative portfolio of real estate and cash flowing investment. In less than 3 years, the value at Rad REIT has more than doubled. See what makes us rad at raddiversified.com today. That's RAD diversified.com.
PT's, Sean Patrick's, Sierra Gold, and SG Bar is your locals hotspot for happy hour with 50% off drinks every day. Voted best happy hour in Las Vegas? There's no better place to be. Beat the heat with ice cold beer, signature cocktails, and the best tavern food in town. See you at happy hour for 50% off drinks 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. and 12 a.m. to 2 every day. With over 60 locations, there's always a PT's near you. Visit ptstaverns.com to find your favorite neighborhood tavern today. Save big on new and certified pre-owned vehicles right now at Finley Acura in the Valley Auto Mall. Lease the head-turning 2023 Acura Integra for only $399 per month. The Integra delivers an unforgettable driving experience with its 200-horsepower VTEC turbo engine and sporty paddle shifters. Get into your 2023 Integra today at Finley Acura in the Valley Auto Mall or online at finleyacura.com.
Lease for 36 months, $29.99 due at signing. OEC through Acura Financial Services. Excludes tax, title, license, and document fees. See store for details. Expires 7/5/23.
We're back to the Vegas Golden Knights postgame show, presented by AAA Insurance. Now, here's your host, Ryan Wallace.
Wrapping it up here, AAA Insurance postgame show. The Vegas Golden Knights defeat the Florida Panthers 9-3 to win their first ever Stanley Cup championship. 6 seasons in the National Hockey League's second trip to the Stanley Cup final, and this one ends in jubilation as the Golden Knights are the best team in hockey. Tonight's game recap is brought to you by Universal Windows and Solar. Pretty simple for the Golden Knights. It took them a while to get to their game. Once they did, they open up a nice 2-goal lead to end the first period. Then Florida pushes back, and the Golden Knights never, ever, ever relented from that point forward. Midway through the second period, you get 4 goals in a row from the Vegas Golden Knights. What was uncomfortable to start the second period was the beginning of a party at the end of the second period. And then Vegas, boy, oh boy, they really did find a way to deliver for this crowd, this city, this entire metro area that just wanted to see the Golden Knights exist in general, right? That was it. Bringing a professional sports team to Las Vegas. And 6 years later, it ends in a championship for the Vegas Golden Knights. And now we get to turn our attention to what comes next. That's going to do it for me here on the AAA Insurance Postgame Show. Extended Postgame Show, your phone calls, that's next. Presented by Dollar Loan Center. This is the Vegas Golden Knights Radio Network.
Thanks for listening to the Vegas Golden Knights Radio Network postgame show, presented by AAA Insurance. Our local coverage continues next with game highlights, interviews, and your phone calls at 702-876-1340. This is the Vegas Golden Knights Radio Network. It's the extended Vegas Golden Knights postgame show on Fox Sports Las Vegas, 98.9 FM and 1340 AM. Let your voice be heard by calling in at 702-876-1340. Now, here's your host, Ryan Wallace.
Hey, extended postgame show, Fox Sports Las Vegas, 9-3 the final. The Golden Knights defeat the Florida Panthers in Game 5 of the Stanley Cup Final to take the series 4-1. The Golden Knights are your Stanley Cup champions. 5 years after going to the Cup Final in year number 1, a storybook inaugural season ended in 5 games to the Washington Capitals. 5 years later, the Golden Knights are able to complete the mission that they set out to do in year number 1. They have climbed the mountain. They have ascended to the top of the National Hockey League, and the Vegas Golden Knights are Stanley Cup champions. You deserve this, Vegas. Take your moment. Have a bow. And now let's dial up the phone. 702-876-1340. 702-876-1340. It's wall-to-wall calls. It's a Stanley Cup championship night in Las Vegas. There is no better party in the world than the party you can have in this city. And for the Golden Knights, they have conquered the National Hockey League, and they have done it in the window that owner Bill Foley set out to do it in. It was playoffs in 3. It was cup in 6. And the Golden Knights have fulfilled the prophecy here in this moment. It's a massive win for the organization.